The Weekly starts now.
Today we're talking with Zeev Cohen at Resmark, and Zeev is going to talk to us about a program that Resmark has started with regards to model homes. And maybe the first thing to do is have you just kind of explain what that program is, kind of what you're doing now, or what you want to do with builders and their model homes.
Thank you, Rich, and thank you for having me here on this program. I really appreciate it. With respect to the program that Resmark has put together, we are buying portfolios of models from home builders on a nationwide scale, and we're leasing it back to them and basically allowing them to utilize those models throughout their marketing period. So throughout their marketing campaign from start to finish. And then upon the time where those models are no longer necessary for the builder, we would sell those models to the buying public. And through that period of time, the builders are leasing back the models from us. So they're entrusting us, if you will, in holding those models on their behalf in ownership. At the same time, they are maintaining them and taking care of them just like they would under their own ownership. And then at the time that we sell those models, we incentivize them by sharing in the proceeds from that sale, assuming that we meet some certain criterias and returns.
Sure. Okay, great. Well, thank you for explaining that. And I think, was there a particular impetus for this? What kind of got you thinking about this and doing this? And really, why hasn't someone done this at least at scale? I've never really heard of it, so I think it's fairly new to the market.
Right. So in many instances and in many markets, this is a product that has been used, but it's been used by private and local home builders and utilizing private and local investors in order to execute it. It was done on a very small scale, what people might call mom and pops type execution. We looked at it and said, okay, so if this product does create liquidity for builders, because this is really what the local home builders were getting. They were taking product that was very capital intensive for them, getting the cash in and investing it in new purchases of land because they're very capital constrained. We said, why wouldn't we do that with larger, more institutional quality builders that actually can get a benefit from liquidity and at the same time can also get a benefit, especially the publicly traded builders, from off-balance sheet treatment. And then we looked at the accounting rules, and recently accounting rules with respect to leases have loosened up, so those public builders can probably sell the asset to us, recognize the income, and then have the ability to also participate on the back end. So we felt that it reached a point where we can create a critical mass of a program for sizable builders. Now, why were we looking at sizable builders? Because since the global financial crisis, there has been significant consolidation in the home building business. And as you look at the business today, privately held companies are playing a smaller role in major markets, and publicly traded builders are dominating it. And they have an appetite for capital, and they have significant amount of capital on their books that is tied to an idle asset in many ways, right? A model home that is fully improved, that is filled with all the upgrades that are out there, fully landscaped, all the tricks, right, in order to be able to sell the product to the home buyers. So from that perspective, we figured that there is a way, there is a need to unlock that liquidity and provide them with that capability. But we figured that it is a very important thing to show them that once we get recovered from our purchase price, there is participation for them. So you're creating a very balanced equation for those larger builders to be able to play in this arena.
So you must have, kind of thought, well, this is a market that would welcome this type of program.
Yes, absolutely. And we also, as residential specialists in home building and apartment and single family rental, we see the needs for off balance sheet financing with respect to large publicly traded builders and some private builders, large private institutional grade type builders, and in the likes of land banking and off balance sheet joint ventures. So this fell really within that range, providing another product for those builders that are very capable, that are very that rely on that product, and that have the ability to basically pay the lease back, right, without failing in any big way.
Right. Right. Okay. And in terms of rolling out, so you announced this recently. What's the rollout look like? How are you going to kind of present this and bring it to the builders that you're targeting?
Right. So basically, we've already started that process, and we're in very deep discussions with a variety of those builders, and we feel that the reception is very positive to the market.
You mentioned you're looking at portfolios of model homes, and I want to make sure I understand what you're talking about. And obviously, when you're talking about a public builder in a number of markets with a number of subdivisions or number of communities with numerous model homes, it just gets exponential at a certain point.
Right.
But you're talking about kind of gathering as many of those up, right? Not just going market to market, which is kind of that local approach that you talked about. Really just kind of looking at what have you got here and which ones make sense, or do all of them make sense, I'm guessing.
And our approach to the business is we would like to create portfolios with each and every one of those builders that account for a portion or the majority or all of their models. And then, in a sense, while not being in an evergreen position with them, as models sell to the buying public, new models are being produced and being created. We feel that those builders would have that need in perpetuity. So as models burn off from the portfolio by being sold out to the buying public, new models are being constructed and can be entered into the program. Right. So we feel that is a way of doing business versus a one-off, once in a lifetime portfolio from builder X, Y, and Z. We feel that that's a new way to be more efficient in the utilization of capital for home builders.
Do you get any sense from the builders that you've talked to, the builders that you've worked with in the past, just any sense from them about, whether they're going to build fewer models because they can showcase so well online, and so many people go online to shop for homes, at least to start, that they're going to invest less in physical models? Or do you see that waning at all, and they're just like, no, we need to have a model home park that's got 3, 4, 5 models to be effective in a competitive market?
Yes, Rich, those are very important discussion points in builders' boardrooms. They absolutely are committed to the utilization of models because of the emotional aspect of the purchase. But with respect to the amount and the size and the magnitude of a model home complex, those are still being considered. And I would have to tell you that it also has to do with the strength of the housing market, which is dynamic. It's not always going to be as strong as it is right now. It's not always going to be as dire as it was, right, in 2008 and 9 and 10 and so forth. So absorption is a very important piece. Absorption of sales is a very important piece of the home building formula. And in the past, there is a direct correlation between the demonstration of models to the quality and the velocity of sales. So I think before somebody's making a very, a dramatic change in their business model, there has to be significant cycle tested evidence that that the technology that provides with virtual tours can overcome to some degree some of the emotional aspect, and only then would a reduction in the experience could be, really thoughtfully executed.
One of the things that I saw in your announcement about this program was the term a quality residential development, and I'm just curious, kind of what you mean by that and how you qualify that.
When we look at communities, we're trying to find, from our perspective, and evaluate the price point, the location, the commute patterns, the amenities, and all of those pieces come to a calculus of what we define as a quality development. They all need to match. If you're meeting a first-time homebuyer community, it does meet that definition within the context of a first-time homebuyer community. Second move up, same kind of concept. So it really is communities that are executed with excellence to meet their target demographics demand.